Howdy, y'all. It's Cody from the Keepers of Nerdom. How you doing? It's time for episode 1 and 2 of Ahsoka review. Finally got a chance to see both of them, and I wanted to give my thoughts on it because I think it's an important part of our culture right now, and also to see does Star Wars have any legs left right now? And I think in a general thing there will be spoilers in this. We gotta be real, otherwise this would be like 5 minutes at most. I think this is decent, but it's lacking something. And that something is really weird and interesting to kind of study why and what's going on here. So let's run through it. The first 2 episodes are out on Disney Plus, and this is probably going to be the last Star Wars we get for quite a while because of writer's strike and everything going on. So this is it. But it honestly is the thing that I think a lot of people are speculating, and hoping will save Star Wars. But unfortunately, Star Wars is a brand that has been hurt so badly and so much that it's not going to just recover because of one amazing show. And I don't know that this is that show. All right. So first off, let's just talk about Rosario Dawson. She as Ahsoka, she works just fine. They still have the really fake Lekus that are way too short on her. But that's, kind of one of those things that we've had to unfortunately accept. I just wish they would be a little bit more honoring of the very thing that Dave Filoni created himself anyway. So that's just bizarre to me. That's all. Yeah. The one thing I will say though, and this is throughout the entire show, there's very little emotion happening for a lot of characters. Ahsoka and Hera Syndulla, they are flat. It's weird. It's very strange. And it saddens my soul because in Rebels, yes, Ahsoka is much more reserved. I will give it that. Totally agree to that, yes. However, this, when everybody is quiet and reserved, even people that, like Sabine Wren, that shouldn't be, very frustrating. Very, very, very frustrating. Okay? That's where the problems exist. That you've got lots and lots of actors that all just walk into a room and it feels like they kind of read the lines together but don't put much emotion or heart into it, which is really sad and weird because Dave Filoni had a show with lots of heart, lots of emotion, lots of reaction. And now we've got this opposite of everybody. If it was just Ahsoka that didn't show a lot of emotion, well, that would be all right. But then you've got Hera, who just kind of, the actress reads her lines, and that's about it. And it's just, at most, she'll give a little bit of a smirk or some slight adjustment to her face, and that's about it. It's very bizarre. Yeah, let's go through some of these things. Some basics of it as well. Let's see. Sabine Wren, I think the actress that they got for her can play the role potentially. However, again, she should be emoting to a whole different degree, and she's just not. They show her being a rebel and running away from a ceremony, okay? So basically, first episode, Ahsoka's finding this map thing, gets attacked by HK droids, and then the Dark Jedi people are also breaking out. So Master and Apprentice, so the old guy, which apparently I guess he passed away or something, and then the girl that's his apprentice, captured or freed their benefactor, who's trying to free Thrawn, who is a lady who is actually a knight's sister or some sort of Dathomir. So, interesting premise here of what we're going on, because they're trying to go get Thrawn. And Ezra Bridger, we got to see him in a hologram during this. Sabine's supposed to be at a ceremony and isn't, so she's being rebellious. But then her acting, that's what's weird, is like when you actually get to her acting, it's always very sullen and mostly sad with some smiles occasionally. Like she'll actually smile a little bit, and Hera can occasionally smile, but it's just so limited on what they're willing to actually do. It's just strange to me. That's all. Just strange. I just wish they would emote a little further. yeah, the first episode is interesting because Sabine steals the holocron thing or whatever you want to call it from Ahsoka after Hera says, "Hey, you should have her," because apparently she was supposed to be training underneath Ahsoka. Okay. Well, that was interesting because she takes it and somehow they attack her the same day that she has the thing. Maybe they were watching her, but it's just sometimes there's conveniences in Star Wars as of late, in the past 10 years, where it just doesn't entirely make sense when you pause the process. And it's also Star Wars has been kind of notorious for this anyway, but now it's just you appear at a planet and it's like, was that 5 minutes or was that literally 3 hours? And Star Wars has gotten really, really bad about that. It feels like where they just go, and we're here, and we're over there, and we're back. Just weird. That's all. Yeah. Here's another thing I'll say. I don't know that the actress for Hera really fits her. She was always quiet. We haven't seen her and Kanan's boy yet. That's weird. Didn't thought about that. Anyway, that's a whole nother piece of this too. I'm shocked they haven't brought that up, but yeah, she's okay. She plays the part, but it's just very serious, very sullen. Everybody's sullen. Like the Dark Jedi, which they're not even like evil. They're just sullen. It's weird. Even the Night Sister is not super evil, just mostly sullen. That's what's weirding me out, because we get that a lot. Because this is another really cool part in episode 1. They have the same guy that voice acted for him play him. I can't remember this actor's name, but I really enjoy him anytime I get to see him in shows and whatnot. And so it's really cool seeing him play his character from the cartoon as an older version here, and it worked perfectly. It was great and fantastic just to see him and have him play the role that he voiced. It's almost like, hey, maybe they should have done that for Ahsoka. What do I know? Anyway, because Rosario Dawson doesn't necessarily do a bad job by any means with what she's given. It's just they have a girl that voiced Ahsoka that could have played Ahsoka. Just a thought. But anyway, what do I know? And I don't know who voiced Hera and Sabine. Well, and see, that's the other thing. That's what's funny. We have the other Mandalorian matriarch that was voiced by Battlestar Galactica lead person Starbuck, and then Katie Sackhoff, and she got to play her in real life. So it's like it's possible. So why is it not happening? Just kind of weird. Let's see what else. So we get into episode 2, and I've left out some pieces. It's bizarre. Very, very bizarre, because they Ahsoka cuts off a droid's head. Oh, that was the other thing. Sabine Wren gets stabbed through the gut and survives, and it's all fine. Granted, Ahsoka is right there, but it's just kind of a funny thing because when Qui-Gon Jinn is stabbed, granted it may have been in a slightly different spot, it's just like this is supposed to be like a killing thing, but now we've had 2 Star Wars shows with 2 ladies get stabbed through the gut and just survive and walk it off. Just kind of weird. So yeah, the Sith, or Dark Jedi, I'm sorry, they're very interesting because I think the older guy is actually supposed to be a Dark Jedi that was from the Jedi Order and then turned or something. So anyway, kind of interesting, but Sabine somehow survives just fine. And we also have another return character that's fascinating throughout the show of David Tennant's droid from, I guess it would have been Clone Wars. And then Chopper shows up as well in episode 2. Get some great stuff there. Yeah, I think overall the concepts are all good here. It's just the acting is wooden. You'd expect the droid to be pretty sullen and monotone on purpose. The most emotion I've seen in the entire episodes has been from Chopper. And I expect that from Chopper because it's Chopper. And that's just sad whenever it's like Chopper's the only one acting like chopper. Like actually their characters would have some more life to them, and he's the most of them, and he's a CGI robot, or at least a animatronic of some sort. So this is an interesting piece to the puzzle, right? Second episode is them tracing down the fact that somebody's doing something on a shipyard, because that's the only thing they can find out from this droid thing that they destroy. And they go there and get attacked by a Sith Inquisitor and people that are still loyal to the Empire. And it all goes to crap, but they manage to plant a tracker on the ship as it's leaving, and they're building some crazy big ring thing that looks awfully similar to the Jedi Starfighter ring to give them hyperdrive speed, just way bigger. So I think it's using Super Star Destroyer engines, which is insanity. Anyway, yeah, that happened. So Ahsoka, first 2 episodes was good. I'd say it's decent. It's way better than Mandalorian. The last season we had, was that 4 or 3? I can't remember. But anyway, it's better than that for sure. But the acting is just not of high quality, and it saddens my soul that that's the case. So have you seen Ahsoka? First 2 episodes. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I think we're in an interesting spot of time where Star Wars is just it's on its last breath, and this is that thing that, I don't know if saving it's the right word, but it at least could bring some excitement back to it if it's done well. But I think the other thing that's really awkward to me is it's becoming the girls' show, because there's only one guy in the show that's a main-ish character, and that's the Dark Jedi. And that really is weird, and it just feels like we're getting to the point where it's... Well, I mean, think about with Rebels. It was a cast of guys and girls working together. And so it was all of it. Think about Rogue One even. There was a cast of guys and girls working together. And this right now is our main characters are Ahsoka, Hera, Sabine, and then on the other side you do have the Dark Jedi Master, but I'm pretty sure something's going to happen and his apprentice is going to be the only thing left. And it's the Night Sisters actually in charge of them. So it's just bizarre that that's what we're seeing. You could maybe make a case for David Tennant. However, he's playing a droid that he voiced in animation. Okay, so it's not even supposed to be a technical guy. It's voiced by a guy, and I'm glad to see him. But it's just an odd thing. So I think, unfortunately, the Kennedy era of Star Wars politics is not gone from this show, and it's unfortunately going to really hurt it. And the fact that people can apparently just get stabbed through the gut and survive like it's nothing, it's not a good thing, considering, I mean, it was honestly not great when they had Darth Maul survive. He came back as an epic character, and they had such a good story arc with him after the fact. But the fact that he survived being cut in half, and Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon's over here going, I died because I got stabbed once, it just seems silly. You see what I mean? So anyway, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka? I've been Cody from the Keeper's Nerddom. Take care.